Young, loving couple who find their lives changed suddenly, violently, when criminals invade their home. How did it all go wrong so quickly? We're with them through the trauma and for an emotional journey back to the scene of the crime. Here's Nightline's Juju Chang.
We have a young gentleman. There was a home invasion.
They say a man's home is his castle, a safe place.
They followed me upstairs and they forced me to let them in the apartment.
I think he protected his wife.
My fiance. We're not married yet.
But for James and Meredith, the place we all consider sacred, in one instance, became safe no more. A brutal robbery brought them to University Hospital at Newark. It's a rare look at the aftermath of a home invasion inside a trauma unit, all caught on tape by ABC's docuseries New York Men.
All right, we're gonna take care of you now. Deep breath. The problem is his heart rate's kind of fast, so that's what we're worrying with the trauma, make sure there's no bleeding or internal injuries.
It all began here at this apartment building in East Orange, New Jersey, about a 30-minute commute to New York City. The couple had just moved in 3 months earlier.
It was just my normal routine, take the dog out right in front of the apartment.
What time was it?
About 12:30.
So it was late.
Went outside and then trouble found me.
The guy comes up and he says, "Can you let me in?" I just told him, "Look, man, my dog is not going to pee with you standing here." And it's the truth.
The two men followed James to his third-floor apartment.
And I heard footsteps and they kind of bum rushed me from behind, and I turn around and there's a revolver in my face.
Keys in hand, James tries to give a peace offering, his wallet with $25 inside, doing exactly what some self-defense experts suggest. Just give them what they want.
That it ends up that they weren't satisfied with that.
What they wanted was to get inside the apartment. He had a split second to decide, stand and fight a man with a gun or let them in, knowing his fiancée is in bed, already sleeping.
Do I take a stand here? Because I knew that as soon as I opened the door for them, that she was at risk.
He opens the door, trying desperately to alert Meredith as he goes.
What was the first thing you remember?
Hearing a lot of yelling and commotion, ruckus.
And you knew something was wrong?
Absolutely. The one with the gun strode over to me and came behind me and put the gun to my head and said, "Where's the money now?" I just remember them saying repeatedly, "Where's the drugs? Where's the money? Where's the drugs? Where's the money?"
As she tells the ER docs what happens next would change their lives forever.
And I pushed the gun away. I grabbed the barrel and pushed it away, and he yelled at me, "Are you stupid?" He pushed me down on the bed, and he pulled my pants down right here. And
It's all right.
he started touching me, and I was screaming.
Okay.
And
When he had the gun to my head before, his face was right here, and I could smell his breath very strongly. It smelled like burnt plastic and very cheap alcohol.
I just heard no, 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 and I knew that it was bad if she was telling him, no.
And he was groping you at that point.
He had pulled my pants down, and he, I'm sorry, it's just,
You don't need to go into it.
An unforgivable sexual assault. And for James in the other room, still unaware of what's happening, it's too much to bear. Instinctively, he reacts, yelling at the top of his lungs.
I had to do something, and I thought if I make enough commotion, it's going to make him nervous, it's going to get his attention, it might get the neighbors to call for help.
At that point, you were making so much noise that he eventually stopped. So in your mind, James saved you from being raped.
I mean, absolutely he did, because he was making such a problem. So he just, grabbed the back of my shirt and pulled me off the bed, put the gun back on me, said, "Get your purse."
Finally, back in the same room, they each saw their chance at survival as Meredith fumbles with her purse.
And then he told me, "Just dump it out." So I dumped it, and when I dumped it, my phone fell face down on the couch, and I remember thinking, there's my phone. It's right there.
And in that moment, James comes face to face with a life or death decision.
And he looked over, and the gun, instead of being pointed at me, it sort of drifted off a little bit. And I thought to myself, if I don't take this chance, I might not get another one. So I reached up and I put the meat here of my hand in between the hammer and the gun.
He has a
Yeah,
quite a large scar here from where the hammer was going back and forth.
Oh
Right
my
there.
gosh.
I couldn't wrest it free, but I knew that I had control of it. And that was the opportunity that she needed to call.
That was the absolute hardest part, was that when I dialed 911, they were just beating him so absolutely mercilessly and brutally, and the one kept yelling, "Shoot him, shoot him, shoot him."
Meredith just held me and my fiance at gunpoint. I need an ambulance right now.
His buddy jumped in. That guy was hitting me too.
All right.
The back of the head, the front of my head.
Did you get knocked out?
Yeah, when I hit the floor, I think I lost consciousness.
You're a hero. You're an American hero.
All I could think of is I didn't want them to do anything to her, you know?
I know, man. All right, we're going to take care of you now.
In the end, the attackers fled, but not before breaking James's nose, both cheekbones, and the bones around his eye socket. Rushed to the ER, James and Meredith are separated for treatment.
The girlfriend may have been sexually assaulted while he was passed out, which is horrible. And that won't be communicated to him, at least certainly right now.
They went through quite an ordeal. Hopefully we'll try to get them together so they can see each other, see everybody's fine, so she doesn't keep freaking out. 2 people could have been killed today, so it was a close call.
You were so brave.
Gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Honey, you were willing to risk your life for me.
What did you think I was gonna do?
That was a little more than a year ago. Today, the couple have moved back home to Youngstown, Ohio.
We're going back to the spot that changed our lives.
For the first time since they moved away, they ventured with us back to show us that apartment and all that they say was wrong with it.
So tell me, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking, look, there's the camera that did absolutely nothing, and here are the 12 lights that did nothing.
They say that their building, Lenox on the Park, was supposed to have surveillance equipment, but that when it counted most, those cameras were not functional. We reached out to the manager but got no comment.
And your view of surveillance cameras in general has changed.
Definitely.
What did you think before? What do you think now?
I think they should be everywhere.
As they walked us through that trauma, the memories of what happened here became too much to handle.
I don't need to see this again.
They really need to catch these guys. They really do. Because they're going to do it over and over and over again.
Right.
More than a year later, police found no suspects. But just a few days after we called the Essex County prosecutor, Meredith got a call asking them to come look at a lineup of possible suspects. The news is good.
There is DNA and a suspect in custody.
You know, if they're in custody and they have a DNA match, then at least that one is off of the streets.
They say they're on the road to recovery, but admit that their experience has drastically changed them and their views on gun control.
I didn't want a gun. I specifically did not want one. I guess I got the realization that, you know, the police really can't protect you. You're on your own.
So you're now proud gun owners.
Absolutely.
Where do you keep it?
In the bedroom.
We just keep thinking about that scenario. If it ever happened again, you know, then she would have it right there by the bed.
But the gun makes you feel safer.
Oh, 100%.
And for all the life lessons this trauma has brought, Meredith says there's one that sticks out the most.
You know what's amazing, Meredith, is we all like to think that when we're in that position that we would risk our lives to save our loved one. But James actually did it.
I think about that every day.
I just felt like I did what I had to do, you know? Like anyone in my position would have done the same thing.
Protecting your woman, I respect that. You save your dog, save your girl, you save the world.
You think you love them so much and, okay, this is it. This is the best feeling you can have. And then you do realize, no, I can't actually love someone even more than that.
For Nightline, I'm Juju Chang in East Orange, New Jersey.
Make sure to tune in to New York Med tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern right here on ABC.